Good morning, everybody. Welcome to week 7 of our COM 151 Introduction to Computer class. This is Mark here, and I want to welcome you to week 7. Over the last few weeks, we've been working in Microsoft Word, and then we switched over and did a little bit of PowerPoint. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been working pretty steadily on Microsoft Excel. We've covered basic topics such as how to start a workbook, how to work on a worksheet. As you can tell, a workbook is made up of multiple worksheets, and we can add and take away those worksheets. We can name those worksheets, color code those worksheets, etc. Then we started talking about labels. We started talking about formulas and functions, and how to set up a Microsoft Excel sheet so that you can do adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing, and then basic functions or formulas like that. We also reviewed some of the formulas or functions that Excel is packaged with. There are financial functions, statistical functions, and a lot of different math functions out there available already written for you that you can insert into sales, and it saves you a whole lot of work. We talked a little bit about the beauty of Excel in that once you set the worksheet up, have your formulas in place and working, that you can change your numbers around. You can do charting and different kinds of charts and that sort of thing. And this past week we talked a little bit about databases. You'll see that in Microsoft Access, but you may find, as many people do, that Microsoft Excel is a very good database tool as well. It's good for collections, names and addresses, employee lists, just on and on and on. So not only can you do mathematical work in Microsoft Excel, you can do database work as well. This week we're going to continue working on Excel. You're going to see some more functions and formulas in your work. You're going to see how you can link worksheets from page to page and book to book. So for an example, if you have some numbers on one page, you can actually add them all together over on another page. You may have a page 1, a page 2, a page 3, and then have a summary page, for an example. I think of budgets as being an example of that. You may have income on one page, you may have expenses on a second page, and then on the third page you may have, outcomes or summary or whatever. So formulas and being able to do math is not just on one particular worksheet, but you can do it across multiple worksheets and even multiple workbooks as well. We'll see a little bit about formulating or formatting cells this week, and in our discussion posts we're going to talk a little bit about charts, the different types of charts. Charting is easy in Excel, but when you do charting, the main goal of charting is to give a visual representation of the numbers that are in Excel. And so depending on what you're trying to convey to yourself or to an audience, some charts are better than others depending on what you're trying to accomplish. So we'll be looking at pie charts, line charts, graph charts, Pareto charts, all different kinds of charting this week, talk about their strengths and their weaknesses and things like that. As on a housekeeping note, this is week 7, so please go to the grade book. I've updated up through week 6 now. Please look at the grade book. If you've got zeros on anything other than the discussion, that does mean that I don't have that work. So if you've done that work and it's a 0, take a picture of it in MindTap, send it to me via email, and I will go in and check and make sure we don't have a problem somewhere. But a 0 is not necessarily a final grade, except in the discussion posts, which are time sensitive. So please, if you see a 0, go look to see if you've done that work. If you have, get that to me. If you have not, obviously do it. We are in week 7. You have week 7, 8, 9, and 10 to go, with week 10 being the final exam. I want you to be able to get the best grade that you possibly can, but not much I can do to help you if you haven't turned the work in or if you have a 0 on the work. So please take a look at that, or let me know if you have any questions or problems. We will be doing our second Zoom conference in week 8, not this week, but next week in week 8. And again, that would be a graded one that you're required to attend or at least watch the recording. And I have seen, as I looked at the grade book, some of you haven't watched the first Zoom conference yet. So go back in the announcements, find the link. I think I did email it to you as well as an attachment, and make sure you're watching those Zoom conferences. That's an easy grade for you. And let me know if you have any problems. I hope that you have a good week.